Hello people, today's video is going to be something fairly different, but bear with me and I hope you'll find it interesting and enjoy it. I love to play with words. I'm always messing around with English, and I have a saying that I often use, especially these days, where I say my memory is not as good as it used to be, but my forgettery is excellent. Doing the witchcraft do you do challenge moved me out of my comfort zone a bit and got me more interested in journaling instead of only in mixed media art. So I decided to move a little bit in that direction. I have an awful lot of old family photographs and fairly interesting family history, ranging from the Edwardian era in about 1904 through the two world wars, and finally the Bush War that resulted in Zimbabwe, and then a return to South Africa in the 80s. This journal will focus on the family and not political history or anything like that. It's going to have little nuggets about childhood adventures, war heroes, and other things that have not been previously recorded or told to grandchildren, and so on and so forth. With this in mind, I started looking through my hoard of old photographs and papers, and I've been very successful so far, as this video will show you. Oh, incidentally, I've decided, with my wordplay, to call this journal my Random Remembery, because it's going to have stuff in it that I need to put out there for the family, for the grandchildren, before it ends up in my forgettery. Anyway, here goes. I have made the most exciting discovery, folks. I was scratching around. I've got a cardboard box full of old photographs from way back when. And in amongst these photographs, I discovered some magazines. But now these magazines are fabulous discovery, because this one, for example, is March the 15th, 1916. So that is that one. This one is February the 2nd, 1916. And here, oh, these ones are called the Homestead Supplement to the Farmer's Weekly, a journal devoted to the interests of the women of the farms. So that is the title of this magazine. This one here is a copy of, would you believe it, the Woman's Weekly, number 1 of new paper. Let me turn this so I can read it. The Woman's Weekly. The paper for every woman. The paper for every home. The cost is 1 penny every Wednesday. And this is number 1, volume 1 of this magazine. And the date is November the 4th, 1911. Now look at this one. It is absolutely beautiful. Look at it. It's just too gorgeous. Look at the fashion. Isn't it fantastic? Look at these photos. I mean, these pictures. And here, this is called the first mistletoe lace pattern ever designed My goodness me. And here it is. Let's pull it forward here. Here we go. There is the mistletoe design. Fantastic. So this page is for crochet. Oh, this is too lovely. This is a serial. It's called That's My Child, Our Great Serial Story. So this would be a serial that would come up in the magazine every week, you see, and you could read however many pages you get at a time. What else did I find? Oh yes, I found some lovely fashion. Look at this. Look at those clothes. Are they not just gorgeous? I just love this magazine. The ads. Good clothes for children. This, I think, is for a little boy. And this is for a little girl. Children's fashion. Excuse me. Look at this. 50,000 headaches. Cured. Free. Fantastic. What snake oil is that? Zox powders, the standard British cure for neuralgia and headache. Fantastic. I love it. But isn't it gorgeous? I mean, this, I could just pour through this forever. The most beautiful. There's a couple of stories. There'll be, if I remember correctly, I mean, even when I was a child, the Woman's Weekly used to come out. And in those days, too, you got at least 3 short stories and a serial. Oh, look, ladies, look how I enlarged my bust. I cannot wait to make copies of these for journaling. Don't you think it would be fantastic? Okay. Bird's custard, my goodness. That too is something I can remember seeing in the shops. So, yeah. Anyway, that was the Woman's Weekly. Now let's have a look at, let's start with the February edition of the Farmer's Weekly. Here is a baby carriage, so that is a pram for a baby. This is the wringer for your washing. This one is a table model, so you put it on the table in your laundry and you scrunch up your washing through there. What else have we got in here that I thought would be appealing? Oh, here we go. Look at this. Look at this. I can remember my grandmother had one of these sewing machines. It worked on that pedal. You put both feet on that pedal and you rocked your feet up and down like this. And this turned all the little wheels on the sewing machine. The machine itself was in here. You lifted this up and it laid out flat, and then you pulled. There was a hole in the middle with the machine attached, and you could pull it out. And then this beautifully carved cabinet. It was usually oak, and these little drawers. I mean, the most beautiful piece of furniture ever. It really was. But that was the original sewing machine, I'm quite sure. And this is a corsetry ad. I mean, look at it. Can you imagine how uncomfortable these poor women used to be? Okay, what else is in this one? Oh yes, look at the shoes. Look at the shoes. Young ladies' college shoes. The right style for farm or town. You see. So you could save money and use them for being on the farm or for taking them to town. I just love, love, love these books. I can't wait to go in. I mean, look at this jewelry. This is a bracelet. I had one almost identical to this. It had belonged to my grandmother and it had been left for me. And it was the most exquisite little bracelet. And sadly, it got stolen. My house was broken into and my jewelry box was taken. But yes, look at this. Look at the prices. I mean, £7 with this magnificent solid wood piece of furniture. More crochet patterns. White's Fancy Biscuits. Look at that. Some of these style of biscuits we still have. Can you believe it? More shoes. Our puzzle corner. Oh my goodness. Something for the children. And Granny's Magic Chair. It's another story for the children. Oh my goodness, a baby cured of paralysis with Dr. Castle's tablets. My goodness. How miraculous is that? And there we go. Look at these ads. I mean, aren't they beautiful? They're just gorgeous. I love them. I love them all. Okay, that's that one. The back page. Stunning again. More ads. And here is the next one. This one is for March the 15th, 1916. Oh, and there's the beautiful sewing machine again. I obviously didn't notice that I'd already done that. Taken that one out, the ad. What have we got here? Look at this, all the furniture. £29 for all this furniture. And look at it. I mean, it's all solid wood. It would have been absolutely amazing. And this one here, much more expensive, £31. But there again, when you think that people got paid £1 a week for working, I suppose it is a little bit kind of out. And look at this, simple and savory. These are recipes. Look, sewing machine. Look at this sewing machine. How beautiful is that? I think it's absolutely stunning. Golden cloud flower. I mean, some of these I actually remember seeing it in shops. And look at this ad. Isn't this lovely? South African sweets for South African children. And there's a whole list of those. Very patriotic. More beautiful shoes. And this is a smart walking costume. Apparently every woman worth her weight had a walking costume or two. And you had to dress up in that before you could go walkies. Gramophone and a list of all the records that you could buy. How lovely is that? Champions, winter materials, tweeds, serges, navy serge, black serge, Wincey, real Scotch, navy and brown Wincey, cream taffeta, cream Delane, wonder what that is, cream Cantona, natural Pyrenees. Oh dear, special flannelette, white and pink. Okay. There we go. Riddles for little readers. So there's a children's page in here as well. So there we have it. I mean, I can't get over how excited I am about these finds, because really, I knew my mom had them, these books, but I thought she'd actually given them to a museum. But instead I have found them wrapped up in my old family photographs, some of which I am going to be copying, I think, for journaling. But this definitely, I'm definitely making copies of these pages, because some of them are just too beautiful to be ignored. Now this is an autograph book, and it's important for you to see the dates on here. This was a gift to my grandmother on the 6th of November 1904. That would have been her birthday. Her birthday was on the 6th of November, and my grandfather's, her husband's, was actually on the 5th of November, funnily enough. But yes, so this was an autograph book that was given to her as a birthday present in 1904. And then she passed it on to my mother. And here is my mother's name, Elaine Trotter. And the date on here is 1931. So she took over this in 1931. Now, there's all kinds of weird and wonderful little rhymes, strange little pictures drawn by children, but some of the most pretty artwork. Look at these poppies. How stunning is that? Absolutely beautiful. Yours very sincerely, Nellie. So that was from someone by the name of Nellie. Isn't it stunning? You can see it was some kind of an oil paint, because it's bled through the page. And here's another absolutely gorgeous one. Look at that, with a little rhyme. All very old-fashioned with these and thys and thous. Such beautiful artwork, isn't it? I remember being told that in those days, one of the very few things that women were educated in was watercolor painting. Look at this beautiful handwriting. Done, of course, with a dipping pen, not even a fountain pen. What else have we got in here? There are a couple of absolutely stunning pictures, which are definitely going to be copied. But this is quite amusing. Look at this. I had to show you this. It starts here, and this says, look. You've got the two frogs. That says before, and the one frog jumps on the other frog's back. You, there it is, jumping. Now it's suddenly seeing the pelican. You leap. So it's look before you leap. Isn't it lovely? And that is from Jeannie in 1904. Other funny little amusing pictures. What has happened to the most beautiful picture of all? It was the most gorgeous, gorgeous picture. There. Look at that. How exquisite is this picture? How beautiful is this picture? Don't you think it's absolutely stunning? I really, really love this. And the date is 1915, the 18th of May, 1915. Absolutely stunning. Okay, so that is what I have found so far. I started looking for these things. I don't know if I've mentioned it. You know, I have said before that I didn't really understand art journaling and what it was all about. But I am now, having found all these wonderful things, I am very interested in doing an art journal with some items of my family history, mainly for my granddaughter, because you know, it was a very colorful time. It was the First World War, the Second World War. All of these things happened in the lifetime of my grandparents, my parents, and me. So it would be nice to put something like that together for her. Well, having discovered the beautiful magazines, I got a flea in my ear and started remembering that I had various other kind of Edwardian time bits and pieces stashed away. And I'm starting on this side because these are the oldest. I have this beautiful little change purse. That would have been a purse that a lady carried with her that had a little tiny amount of money in it for her to pay for a carriage should she need it. So apparently that's what that was for. And then this is my best. These are what are called in French, and I don't think they have a proper name in English. These are called pince-nez, which means nose pinchers. And these are spectacles that rest on your face by being held there with what's between the nose. So in other words, we're looking at something like this happening. Oh, come on, get a grip. Like that. You see, it is how they would stay on your face. And then here, there should be a little cord. This here should have a little cord attached to it that either goes around your neck or is pinned to your chest with a brooch of some sort. Okay, that's the one. This is a much more elaborate looking one. It still has a little piece of silk thread on it. And look at these gorgeous little contraptions. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but this is how they work. Lovely, isn't it? I can't help wondering what happens with the two little bits that I'm using my fingers to push open. Let's see if I can get these onto my thumb as well. Oh, there we go. Those went on much more easily. But they do have these two little wings sticking out, if you can see. Here and here. But quite fun, wouldn't you say? I don't know if I've mentioned it, but I've started to get excited at the idea of doing a journal and kind of putting all these things into a journal with the little stories attached to them and so on. But more of that at another time. Let's rather get through this. Now, the other thing I discovered, which is rather beautiful, this was by Mother's. It's a Methodist hymn book. She was an extremely religious person, and the date on this is about 1935, I think. That was when she, okay, this was printed in 1933, but I think she went nursing in about 1935. And what happened was that the congregation of the church where she attended gave her this as a farewell gift. And it has the most beautiful, which I have taken out already in anticipation, the most beautiful decoration. There seemed to be always one person in the congregation who could do this writing. It slipped. Illumination, I think that's what it's called. Momently, I couldn't remember what it was called, but it's absolutely beautiful. It's all hand done, and with pens and inks, different colors. And her name was Elaine, which is the top letter, top piece, and her surname was Trotter. This is when she was single before she got married. And on the back of this card, she has written, "Please return to Miss E. Trotter, Berea Nursing Home, Overport, Durban." So that will be where she went for some of her nursing training. Anyway, I've kept this because I think this needs to be part of what my plans are. And then I don't know if this is going to work, because although the print is tiny and the music is beautifully clear, this is incredibly thin paper, and I have to experiment to see if what's behind it will bleed through once I glue it down into onto a journal page of some sort. But hopefully it will be perfect for my plans. There's something else that I have which is a little bit sensitive, but it is rather beautiful. My mom, she has 3 children. We're still all here. I'm the eldest, but she left an envelope for each one of us that said, "Not to be opened before my death, please. Love, Mum." This was the sort of thing that people used to do in those days, because you remember, I don't know if you have heard of the expression, "spare the rod and spoil the child," which actually meant don't praise your children too much, because then they'll think they're special. So children never knew just how much their parents cared or how much they meant to them. So she put this little copy into each one of our envelopes. It says, "To my very dearest children and grandchildren who have loved and cared for me all these years, your ever-loving mother." And then a little poem about not grieving, which I think is rather sweet. Anyway, so that will go into this old envelope, because it's the envelope it came in. And that will go into the journal too. Then, this is lovely. This is addressed to me. I was born in 1946. This was addressed to me in 1948. And it's a letter from my father. It says, "My dear little girl, one day when you grow up, you may want to collect stamps. On this envelope is a block of 4 silver jubilee stamps issued in commemoration of the silver jubilee of King George VI and Queen Elizabeth. On this day they celebrate 25 years of marriage. If you do not collect stamps, you may have a brother who does, so you will be able to pass them on to him. Lots of love and kisses from your loving daddy." So that's the letter. And there's the envelope with the 4 stamps on. And they're lovely. They're silver jubilee stamps. And I don't know if I can do it. Let me try. Yes, you see there's actually metallic on the stamps. You can see the laurel leaves are now shining. Anyway, this will also go into the journal, because neither my brother or I collected stamps. But it's going somewhere special. Okay, so that's that little section done. Then I've just kept these. I've taken them out. This is my daughter got married first. So this was the little gift that they gave at their wedding reception. This is a story about the tree of life, and the tree known as white stinkwood, or Celtis africana. And in this little container there are 3 seeds, and the idea is that the people who attended the wedding could plant these 3 little seeds and grow a tree. And then this is from my son and his lovely little wife. This was how their wedding invitations were hand delivered to everyone. It was a seaside theme. They got married at a seaside resort in the Cape in South Africa, and this was what they made and sent out for their wedding. Sorry, I'm coughing here. Okay, so that, I think, is enough of that for today. But I hope you're interested, and please let me know what you think about my plans. They're a little bit up in the air still, but I think the next video I'll probably have something more constructive to tell you. But do you think this looks like a good idea, or something to put together so that my grandchildren have some memories of my family? Anyway, that's the end of that for today. So for now, stay safe, stay well, and see you soon. Bye bye.